Big dreams, big names. Alexander the Great versus Thomas Edison. What do a fearless conqueror and a relentless inventor have in common? They both changed the course of history. Today, we're diving into the fascinating stories of Alexander the Great and Thomas Edison, two visionaries separated by centuries, yet united by their ambition to transform the world. One built an empire with strategy and courage. The other illuminated the modern world with innovation and perseverance. Their stories are packed with lessons about leadership, resilience, and the power of dreaming big. So buckle up, because this is not just a history lesson, it's a deep dive into what it takes to shape the future. Ambitions without limits. The world versus the light bulb. Let's start with ambition. Alexander the Great wasn't just any king. By the time he was 20, he had taken the throne of Macedonia. But ruling one kingdom wasn't enough. His dream? To conquer the entire known world and create a unified empire. And boy, did he try. In just over a decade, his armies marched across 3 continents, defeating powerful empires and spreading Greek culture as they went. Now, fast forward to the late 19th century. Thomas Edison didn't have an army, but he had something just as powerful, his mind. Edison didn't want to just invent things, he wanted to revolutionize the way people lived. His ambition? To make life easier, brighter, and more connected. The light bulb, the phonograph, and even the motion picture camera. All these came from his relentless drive to innovate. Here's the difference. Alexander's ambition reshaped borders, while Edison's ambition reshaped how we experience life itself. Relentless determination. Failures don't stop giants. Both Alexander and Edison knew one thing. Failure is just part of the process. Alexander faced overwhelming odds throughout his conquests. Take the Battle of Gaugamela, for example. He was outnumbered by the Persian army, but he didn't let that stop him. Through sheer determination and brilliant strategy, he turned what seemed like a guaranteed loss into one of history's greatest victories. Edison's battlefield was different. He faced failure every single day in his lab. The light bulb? It wasn't a one-and-done deal. He failed thousands of times before finally finding the right combination to make it work. But Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That's the kind of grit that changes the world. Whether it's leading armies or testing inventions, both men proved that you only lose when you stop trying. Innovation and strategy. Genius at work. Alexander wasn't just a warrior, he was a mastermind. His military strategies were years ahead of their time. Take the phalanx formation, a tight-knit group of soldiers with long spears. This innovative tactic allowed his smaller army to outmaneuver and overwhelm much larger forces. Thomas Edison had his own version of the phalanx, his team of inventors. Edison didn't just work alone, he built one of the first research labs in history, where brilliant minds came together to collaborate. It was here that he developed groundbreaking technologies like the electric power grid. Both men understood that thinking differently is the key to winning, whether on the battlefield or in the lab. Enemies and obstacles. Battling the odds. Of course, greatness doesn't come without challenges. Alexander faced enormous enemies, from the mighty Persian Empire to internal rebellions within his own ranks. Yet, time and time again, he proved his resilience. Even when his troops were exhausted and outnumbered, his leadership inspired them to keep fighting. Edison, meanwhile, had a different kind of enemy, competition and doubt. He fought fierce battles in the world of invention, especially during the War of Currents. This rivalry with Nikola Tesla and George Westinghouse over alternating versus direct current electrification was brutal. Edison didn't win every fight, but his perseverance ensured that his contributions would stand the test of time. Both men teach us an important lesson. Challenges are inevitable, but how you face them defines your legacy. Leadership. Inspiring the masses. Great leaders don't just act, they inspire. Alexander wasn't just a commander, he was a symbol of unity and ambition. His soldiers followed him across deserts and mountains because they believed in his vision of a unified empire. Even today, he's remembered as a leader who dared to dream bigger than anyone else. Edison's leadership was different but just as impactful. He inspired people not with speeches, but with ideas. By creating inventions that improved everyday life, he showed the world what was possible. He didn't just light up rooms, he lit up imaginations, encouraging future inventors to think big. Both men remind us that true leadership isn't about power, it's about vision and the ability to inspire others. Legacy. How they changed the world. Alexander's empire didn't last long after his death, but his impact did. He spread Greek culture across the ancient world, influencing art, science, and politics for centuries. His dream of unity may have been short-lived, but his legacy as one of history's greatest conquerors remains untouchable. Edison's legacy, on the other hand, is something we still live with every day. Flip a light switch, listen to music, or watch a movie, and you're experiencing the fruits of his genius. Edison's inventions laid the foundation for the modern world, proving that innovation can create a legacy just as enduring as conquest. Conclusion. Dream big, do bigger. So, what do Alexander the Great and Thomas Edison have in common? They both dared to dream bigger than anyone else. They faced failure head-on, inspired those around them, and left behind legacies that changed the world. Here's the question for you. What's your big dream? Whether you want to conquer a challenge in your life or invent something that changes the world, remember this: greatness starts with ambition and grows with persistence. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the lives of two legends, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's keep exploring, innovating, and dreaming big together. Thank you for watching, and remember, history is made by those who dare to dream. See you in the next video. Rocket sparkles.